know a lot of y'all asked me earlier what my thoughts were about the Mamdani and Trump meeting, so I'm gonna give you my thoughts on that. I figured it was this time 245 that I've been up here at Trump Tower to deliver, talk about what I think politically. I'm not going to give the in-depth like everybody else does. I mean, if you know me, I kind of simmer on the surface of what everybody's talking about. So I want to make it clear. I'm nor a supporter of Democrats, nor am I a Trump supporter, or whatever else you want to put across. What I am is I'm somebody that's avid to see the truth within many. If many of y'all know, I covered the Trump trial when that was going on with him and one Stormy Daniels. Another hook. What's going on, man? Appreciate you, OG Kicks. So I figured I'd come up here. I said earlier I wasn't going to do a live for y'all, but I said I changed my mind. But make sure y'all hit up the Cash App, support the channel. There's the link right there, the OG Kicks name right there. So make sure y'all support that or whatever. I am traveling, so I can use all your support down there from Connecticut. I said, let me take a shot with my crowd and see if they hung on. So there was finally a meeting with Zoran Mamdani and Mamdani, I hope I'm saying his name correctly, and President Trump just recently. And somebody came into the chat room early and they asked me, what do you think and what's going on with that or whatever. There's a whole bunch. I watched the whole, I think it was 30 minutes of it. I finally got the chance to watch it. I didn't want to start talking about it if I didn't get to watch the full 30 minutes, you know? So, you know, everything I'd seen up to there was clips and things like that. And clips, they can be taken any old kind of way. You can make a clip in anything you want it. You know what I mean? If you put your mind to it. So I'm very careful when it comes to clips. I like to see the whole shebang, if you want to say, right? So what I watched a couple of things that, you know, sometimes you got to bend to the knee. And that seems to be what's going on with Zoran Mamdani. Now I heard his what do you want to say? His comments. Trump, you better watch out. You know, he was saying that old rigmarole. And that kind of threw me off in the beginning because I was like, okay, well, you coming out challenging the president? I don't think that's a good idea. Let me give you some brief history because I was here when that happened. When, as many of y'all know, I live in Connecticut, but I live in a part of Connecticut that's very close to New York. So I frequent New York, and before the pandemic started, I had moved down to New York from Connecticut. I lived on this exact street right here, which many of the people of the guys up here know. But I always found it in fact, though, of one thing. I saw where a lot of people, not only their political preparation changed because of what we was going through prior here in New York City, which was a mayor at the time, and I mean, whether you support him or don't support him, that had two constituencies to fix things and give some promises that he never gave out, and a lot of people were quite mad about that. And on his departure from his constituency, I'll try to keep this PG rated because I want to make sure it stays monetized. One said Mayor de Blasio, he left with a lot of unfulfilled promises. And so when you fast forward and then you get a new mayor and he adopts, and just like the president, they adopt things. So, you know, if you had something going on in the last constituency, the new constituency deals with it. I think this is what happened with Mayor Adams as well. So you inherit things that a lot of people, when they have these conversations, they think, oh, well, they're supposed to come in and fix everything. They can't sometimes. Sometimes some of these things will take 10 to 15 years to fix, you understand? So it led me to believe that New York was already in a state of messed up, whatever you want to call it, despair, as it always has been. But this time it was a lot different. It was a lot different because we had a pandemic on the heights of our shoulders. Let me add this to the conversation. A lot of people don't know. There was a measles outbreak, if I remember correctly, out in, I believe it was Westchester County and outside of New York County out there. They had a measles outbreak right before the pandemic started. So it was already, you know, it already had people in fear because of that, and certain crowds didn't want to take inoculations and everything. I'm telling you all this because a lot of this stuff gets left out of the conversation when you're dealing with people that are doing news outlets from this state, that state, this state, every state, but here in the New York City tri-state. So where does that leave us? That leaves us with a new mayor that's adapting the same problems that Mayor de Blasio, some people would say in some cases, created or didn't fulfill or didn't finish. I don't think so. I think a lot of it was left over from Bloomberg's administration as well. But you're left with a mayor after a mayor after a mayor after a mayor trying to clean up what 3 or 4 mayors back did. Same thing with presidents a lot of times. You get stuff that they try to undo and they try to fix. And sometimes 4 years just ain't enough. You get me? So with that being said, or whatever the case may be, we fast forward up to now. And now we've got this guy, Mamdani, and he's throwing a whole different record. Socialism thing, I always wrong when I hear that. Venezuela tried socialism, I believe, not too long ago. It failed. Every country that you tried socialism in, it has failed. And it will continue to fall. If you need an update real quick, before the Nazis took over Germany during World War II, it was a socialist regime. That socialist regime at that time was taunting for the rights of Jewish people, particularly European Jews, to get work and things like that, and what they were demanded and they thought they were entailed to by right. I can see where that comes from. Later on, you had Hitler come in with his Nazi party, and it was called the National Socialist Party. So it's socialism that's tied to all this stuff, and every time you see it, it's a failure to it. So that's why I wasn't too up in rings when I heard this guy was a socialist. I think a lot of things nowadays, because a lot of people, or in fact, though, in the past 10 years have turned into everybody's a freaking, I don't know, a genius all of a sudden out of the blue. Google makes a lot of people seem smarter than what they actually are. I don't need Google. I come from a time, I'm older now, so I come from a time when we ain't use Google. We ain't have Google. You know what I mean? So I could just be like, yo, let me type this here real quick and seem smart. I'm telling you from actual experience, and as you can see, I'm here in New York City. So you shouldn't be no doubt in mind versus what a lot of these guys are telling you. Excuse me, I had to take that bag off. It was killing my shoulder. I got battery packs and everything, so I can make sure I stay with y'all. So here we are now in 2025, and he will take the reins in 2026, right? Mamdani. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, how will socialism work in New York City? Then I heard some of the things that they were talking about in the meeting or whatever, and it was very surface, and they're not going to tell us the details, of course not. But I think some of the problems that they were talking about have easy solutions to them. I'm going to tell you what I mean by that. Before the this is why I say the pandemic ties into all this. The people that live here in the New York City tri-state, or you live close to New York and you work down here, whatever the case may be, you know this as well as I do. There was an emphasis put on putting up luxury housing in New York City, in Boston, in Miami, in Atlanta, Georgia, in Texas, and a couple other these places. Let me explain to you. A lot of these people are kind of like what I'm into, which is development. So you have these development companies, and development companies come in and they see, well, we got this that we can take advantage of, we can take advantage of this, we can take advantage of that, whatever the case may be, and they take advantage of these zoning laws, which is one. Another thing they take care of is subsidies and promises. Okay, we got 200 apartments in there. We'll give 15 of them to these type of people, elderly people, people that are below the poverty line, whatever. And that's the promise, that offer 15 apartments out of 200. Now, out of that 200 apartments, you could charge anywhere from, I don't know, let's say starting prices, New York, let's say $3,200, right? And you can go all the way up to, I've seen some places go for $12,000, $13,000, $14,000 a month. Y'all got to remember, I was in the music industry, so, it wasn't like we was running around the city poor. You know what I mean? I ain't going to hold you. But and regardless, that's what you're going to run up against if you want to live somewhere decent in this area or whatever. In Connecticut, where I'm at, it's not much of a difference. It's not much of a difference. I mean, you're shaving at maybe about $1,200, a little less. So the emphasis comes into, do we have people from New York still staying in New York? And I'm here to say I don't think so. I think what you had, and I looked at some of the demographics. Give me a second, guys. I got this track hole passing by me. I looked at the demographics, and you got somewhere up in between, I think it was 200,000 people that left New York City during the pandemic, the whole entirety of the pandemic. So you're talking about 2020 all the way to 2022, you had an influx of people that were original people here in New York, and things, kept them in place. Everybody doesn't become rich out here. Everybody doesn't become wealthy here. A lot of people come here with dreams or whatever, and they don't know to subside from their dreams and get back into reality. And it's a story for a lot of people. It happens. But what actually happened was, with that 200,000 people moving, it caused something to happen here. And what happened was you had a whole influx of people leaving the city based off the back of the pandemic, but you had a whole bunch of new people coming into the city from Wyoming and Ohio and greater parts of Wisconsin. And so they came into New York and replaced the people that left. Now, you don't have to believe that, but believe that. Now, the thing is, these people, a lot of them, they can afford to pay these rents because there's 16 of them living in a 2-bedroom. You know what I mean? I refuse to do that, but it'll be 16 of them. I'll exaggerate a little bit. There'll be 16 of them living in a 1-bedroom. You dig me? Where am I at? I gotta block you just because you asked me that. You ask me something silly like that again, I'm gonna block you, okay? That's one time, that's your one warning. Don't ask me silly questions in here. Don't come in my chat room trying to be a comedian. This is not a comedy network, okay? All right, cool. You got a lot of these people that have now come into the city and into Jersey and into my state as well, in Connecticut, and they're not from the area, they're not from the tri-state, and they haven't been here, and they can pay for a lot of these rents. Well, something happened, and it's another financial bubble mixed in with a home bubble. And what that was a lot of these people couldn't afford these apartments, and a lot of these apartments, they wasn't finished. Now, I'm going to give you an example of what I'm talking about. Right here across the street, this used to be a very famous diamond place right here, but you see how the scaffolding is on that right there? There are tons of apartments, literally. The developers, they had to leave them in that structure when the pandemic started, so they couldn't. You gotta realize there wasn't things going around as far as wood, shipping was down, everything was down. So now you're stuck, I don't know, 2 years, 3 years or whatever, and now you're in debt. You're in debt. Even if the project stalls for a little bit, the contractors still have to get paid. This is like my secondary thing, so trust me, I know what I'm talking about. Development is totally different from being a homeowner. It's totally different from being a renter. It's totally different. There are partners involved most of the time. There are dates that were supposed to be concluded, and a lot of these things get an ease. They get an excuse because of the pandemic. But a lot of people, they didn't get that excuse because of the pandemic. So what you got is, you got a whole bunch of people that before, more than ever now, are displaced in New York City. You can walk around up and down these streets in New York, and it's not the same cheerful place it was right before the pandemic started. The same energy is not here anymore before the pandemic started. You go into Times Square, it's damn near empty. You know what I mean? This is a reality of when you got a city that subsided under the mayor, in my personal opinion, that inherited problems. So that's one of the issues right there where Adams got the stiff at, and I don't like it. I think it's something that needs to be discussed a little bit more in detail or whatever, and be fair to Mayor Adams in that regard. He inherited those problems. Now, everything else he had with the indictment and everything like that, he saw his way through that. And I covered that too. So if you guys want to, just put in my name and put in Mayor Adams behind it, Mayor Adams trial behind it, and you'll see it come up. But as well as Jonathan Majors, as well as Trump, I covered Trump's trial, all in person. It's kind of like what I do. The Diddy trial, if y'all want to see that, that's also here on this page. Be more careful. What the fuck? I'm just guy here on your live. I hear you. What else are y'all saying in here? Be more careful. That's it, man. That's it. You heard? That's all. You see I ain't block him. Yeah, you gonna ask me where I'm at, brother? I mean, it's right on the screen. You know what I mean? That's why I said that to you. So, chill out. You cool. We have a housing epidemic, or non-housing epidemic, homeless epidemic, if you want to say, in the city. Couple that with our newfound friends that were the migrants that came in from different countries. A lot of times they highlight just the Latin American countries, where we had people here from Arab countries. We had people come here from everywhere. This for some reason or another, and they were filling hotels, which is another issue, because many of these hotels were dormant. I covered the Row Hotel. Y'all know, if you guys remember that, when I went over there, when they had their little debacle over there. I covered the Roosevelt, where they were actually taking people in and putting them in hotel rooms. And these people stayed in these hotel rooms for months, if not some years. And so it drew up a lot of money. It drew up a lot of federal money. It drew up a lot of city funds, as well as other things they were coping with. So like I said, once again, Mayor Adams inherited some problems, a lot of problems that I think normally nobody would have been prepared for. Nobody had ever come out of COVID before. So I want to always give him that excuse. Shout out to Queens, Brooklyn, But I always like to give him that excuse because I said he did, in fact, inherit it. Now, what you say here? It's backwards, bro, for us. No problem, brother. Oh, okay, I got you. Jersey, what's going on? All right. No, you fine, man. You fine. That's why I said I thought you was just like one of the normies. No, you good. That's the biggest problem, and that was one of the problems Trump and Mamdani had a conversation about, and they agreed on. And I'm glad they agreed on that. You know, Trump's from New York. A lot of y'all forget that. He's from Queens. He's from out there in Jamaica Estates. My family, I've got family from Queens as well. Shout out to Corona. So, you know, he's a town boy, you know. A lot of people didn't even understand that connection with him and Nicki Minaj. I was kept on trying to tell y'all. He's from Queens. So, I'm glad to see that, you know, outside of him calling Trump a fascist, him acknowledging that he's a socialist, we got some equilibrium. Now, keep in mind that equilibrium might just be in that conversation. You got to keep that in order. That equilibrium might be monetary. A lot of people, when they're having these political talks, a lot of times, and I found this through my time. I'm a musician. You understand? I'm a musician. If any of y'all, this is your first time here, my name is Davin Lewis. Many people know me from Bad Boy Entertainment. I've sold music. I still perform. I got a new album coming out, so make sure y'all pick that up. But I always like to make sure that I emphasize that because I'm not a blogger. I'm not a journalist. I just dropped it to my lap because I went live and I was talking about what was going on with Bad Boy Entertainment, you know? So keep this in order right here. Most of the people that are affected by this seem to be people that are from New York City. I mean, the original ones that were here. You know, even if you migrated here and you've been here for 20, 30 years, you're part of this city. You know, so it's weird to me that you got people that they can't afford to go out. That's the real issue. They can't afford to go out. You know, it's a hard choice. And then you'll see that in the nightlife down here. The nightlife is going to, oh God. Unless you want to go to a hookah spot and pay $35 for a hookah. Good luck. So you got a lot of different agencies that were messed up. In my state, in Connecticut, the pandemic messed up a lot of small town businesses, you know. Hey, what's going on, Kenny? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I want you guys to throw in your comments what you thought about the interaction between Mamdani and this guy. Everybody's getting in here now. Give me 2 seconds, guys. I'm just going to share this real quick. I forgot to share it. I was like, why everybody ain't in here? I forgot to share it. You know what's funny? Give me 1 second. Got some candy in my mouth. You know what's funny? Every time I get on live, right? And I'm talking about, see the conversation I'm having right now, and this is what I tried to tell y'all earlier today when I was doing my live. Y'all have to learn how to differentiate clown behavior. You have to learn how to differentiate people that interrupt the conversations when you're talking about the very same demographic that you are. I have a man in my chat room right now that felt the need to write, nigga, you broke. Now, how do you think this guy's going to be effective in the culture? He's not. He's not. And that's why I try to tell you guys, you got to start removing some of these guys from your life. 2026, guys like this are the clowns, guys like this to sit around and basically, for the better part of everything, don't have anything to offer to the conversation but project babble. You have a good evening. Oh no, I ain't worried about him. He's out of here. He's out of here. I just always find that kind of amazing that you always have somebody come in and always interrupting the conversation when we're talking about something serious. Back to the conversation. Sooner or later, this whole thing with the rents and the whole thing with housing and everything like that is going to hit a pole. I give it 2025, 26, 27. But it's going to hit a hole. It's going to get to the point where people are going to start warring with each other. over apartments. They're going to war with each other over housing. Now, I know that sounds far-fetched to many of y'all, but that's where it's getting right now. And you're going to see people do some conniving things that you've never seen them do before for housing. So I was glad that Trump and Mamdani, they emphasized on that, and they highlighted that when they were having the conversation. I can appreciate that. Now, what I don't agree with Mamdani is a lot of the stuff that he was talking about this socialism, quasi-communist, quasi, I don't know if you really want to call it, I'm going to stick with socialism and communism because that's more what I got the hype for. So I'm going to stick with socialism and communism, right? I'm going to stick with that. I think that was more in the breadth of what we're talking about here. I think a lot of his policies, which I've looked at some of them that are proposed, I want to say that, proposed policies, I've heard skims of them because he hasn't offered any of them to the public, really, officially. So what I have heard are things that, mutter the fact of the housing. He wants to tax people a little bit more. He said something to the quote of it. One of the press people quote him. I think he said something to the quote of he wants to tax white people more. You don't never say no shit like that. Now I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. You ain't even African American. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll give you an example. If somebody African American say it, I think because of the history that's linked to it, it's one thing. When you have someone that's just like a first generation immigrant, I think that's a little bit different. And may I add this too? We had over 36, 37 Muslim Americans get elected to multiple different branches of government this past election. I don't know if y'all knew that or not. But I think it was like 36 or 37. It was quite a few. And those people were added. And I don't know what they have to offer. Let's say to the broad spectrum of people. And the reason I say that is I picked up on this article, and it was about a Muslim community down in Texas. Did you guys see this? It's a Muslim community down in Texas, and they wanted to invoke their own town. Now, I'm pretty much assuming that this town that they erect is not going to be for Christians. It's not going to be for anybody but Muslims. I was with a Muslim woman for 8 years. As many of y'all know, I always talk about her. So, I'm no stranger to the religion. If it's Sharia, it could be anything. I don't know. I don't know what Mamdani's placement is. I know the reactions I saw. Now, I will say this to you. In England right now, and in I think it was somewhere else. England, I saw this, and I want to say Prague or Norway, one of those places over there, where they've actually got like literal separatists running for council and shit like that. It's crazy. But they have a problem over there. And they've had this problem for probably the past 3 or 4 years, where they've had so much of an influx of immigrants coming to England that it's kind of overwhelming. And I'll tell you what I mean by that. When Mamdani was elected, and I saw this on the news, there was a whole group, it was several groups of Muslim people, and justifiably all across the city, celebrating, And the way they were celebrating it was multiple people. It was multiple people. And when I say multiple people, I mean hundreds of them. And they were in the street, and they were celebrating, and I get it. It was one particular gentleman, and I'm going to see if I can find his clip. I got to put that back up, because I got flagged the last time I put it up. So I got to edit it. There was one particular gentleman, I don't know if you guys saw this guy, but he was in the middle of the street with a blowhorn down there on 42nd Street, and I did not like what he had to say. He was like, yeah, and we want to bring Islam. You don't make declarations like that in the United States, becoming a first-time mayor at such a young age. That sends out a war cry. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to provide some video and stuff for y'all so y'all can see. But I'll give you an example. They had the Juma prayer, right? And I'm talking about it was hundreds of thousands. It looked like Mecca in England. You know what I mean? Like quite literally. Their lottery system is for housing didn't include all applicants, so I think they will be doing. Yeah, I hope so. They had some kind of glitch in the system on 159 Main Street in Hempstead. Yeah, I hear you on that one, but at the same time, it's not going to, I don't know what the numbers are currently because I don't have my other device like I usually do. I don't know the current numbers for homelessness right now in New York City or people that are houseless, that's what they call it, but it's pretty substantial. It's not going to fit into one little area code. It's pretty substantial. I mean, I'm going around and I'm in the city and I'm seeing, I went to Brooklyn today and I went to Harlem. And even in Brooklyn and Harlem, you'll see that there's extremes, but it's not just one set of people. You've got black people, Spanish people. The three I see the most are black people, Latin people, and white people. Those are the three I see. I don't see too many homeless Asian folks. I don't see too many homeless Hasidics, etc., etc. Not that I want to see them, but that's what I see mostly. I see white Americans, black Americans, and Latin Americans. And when I say Latin Americans, I mean the Latin Americans that were here already, not to sound like a jerk or nothing, but we always had a Dominican population here. We always had a Puerto Rican population here. I think they were the most popular at one time. We always had a Honduran population, Cuban population. You understand what I'm saying? So they've always been with Mexican population. They always been here. They always been here. At least going back 40, 45 years, most of them. So they part of the imprint, as well as the Asian community. The Asian community down in Chinatown, they've been down there since, I think, 1915, 1920, somewhere around there, because it's synonymous with the Chinatown that's in California that first erected. So those groups have always been here in New York City. Make no mistake about it. Those groups are being most affected because that's who I'm seeing sleeping on benches. That's who I'm seeing sleeping on the streets. That's who I'm seeing huddled up. And it's about to get cold out here. Would you say? Yes, it's unbelievable. She said, right? It's got to be cold out here. Right now, it's cold, but it's not cold that you can't bear it. It's going to be cold here. If not in another month, by December, by the end of December, top of January, that's when you start getting real cold. And then the final one that's like, you know what, go ahead and hit it with the remix. That comes in February. That's when it gets really cold here in the Northeast. So if you were a person that was in that situation, you're going to be very tight and you're going to do certain things or whatever to make sure you do that. Now, it doesn't help that a lot of the homeless community here is doing a lot of things that are some people would call a little bit nutso. I would, if you push somebody in the front of a train. I got an answer for that too. Back to the pandemic. When the pandemic happened, a lot of these services that they had for people, a lot of these people, they did inpatient services, meaning they would go to a location or whatever the case may be to get the daily dose of medicine for whatever ailment they had, schizophrenia or whatever the case may be. And that ceased. The better part of it, I would say a year. You understand what I'm saying? A year. Now, what I think that there's been something invoked. I think it was by Mayor Adams. He had a task force that was going out, and their thing was to make sure they centered in on the mentally ill. Now, the mentally ill, I don't know what you're going to do with them, but they need to have their own facility. A lot of these guys are really, really gone to the point where if they do come back from the drug addiction, they still got a psychosis to deal with. You understand? And that psychosis could be anything. That psychosis and the psychoanalysis of them might bring up paranoid schizophrenia. It might bring up shock. It might bring up trauma. There's a litany of different, you know what I mean, of different ailments could come out of that. So you never know. But what I do know is these guys nightly on the news for a minute, pushing people in front of trains. There was a guy up here that set a woman on fire on the train, God bless her heart, out in Queens, New York. I know many of y'all saw that video. That was done by somebody that was mentally ill and he was an immigrant. Yeah, we should. Yeah, if you live in a tri-state, you know. And for me, I'm not too proud to say it, during the pandemic, I had a very rough time. And for a brief moment, I was homeless. That's why some people come on here and they think it's funny. It's not funny at all. I never would rock with anybody that felt that being homeless is funny, especially if you are a person that's struggling to pay your rent this month. You get people, and that's what I mean by, hold on one second, guys. That's what I mean by this whole internet thing. The internet has allowed people to have no empathy anymore, And I never have, and I never will turn my back on that homeless community or whatever, because I was part of it for a brief moment. Yes, me, from the music industry. Stuff happens. And I've never had that happen to me. Listen, I've lived on the shoreline in condos with balconies and pools and weight rooms my whole entire fucking life. All right? If anything you can't bet, you can bet that I've lived a very good life thus far and still living it thus far. And that's not to brag or anything like that, but it's just the point. Outside of normal people, I live pretty comfortable. So when I hear somebody come in, like today somebody came in, it was like, you homeless. I ain't arguing. I said, I'm homeless. I'm in my apartment right now doing a live. What are you talking about? So I had to do a tour of my apartment, show them my backyard, and they have nothing to say after that. Nothing. But it's not the fact of that. It's the fact that many of you that sit up here and pretend like you've got it together, you've got it going on or whatever, you don't. Listen, as many of y'all know, I was in the music industry for over 17 years. I worked for multimillionaires from the time I was 21 years old all the way up to the time I was 38 years old. Now, trust me when I tell you, you don't know nothing about no motherfucking money. All right, let's keep it there. So when I get people to come on here and they talk about money, what type of money are you talking about? Because if you want to have a conversation with me about money, you need to start off with at least $500,000. It could be them very easily. You get so many of these people to get online and they want to call people broke. They want to make fun of people, whatever, and talk all kinds of shit. Like, I'll give you an example with me. I don't have a current project out right now, right? But I'm working on a new project. So the word is, I know what he's doing because I subliminally can tell what he's doing because he's on the internet. And I'm like, the ideology behind that type of framework of thinking is dangerous. Because that means you're presumptuous. You have innuendos that pre-exist in your head, and that's how you that's what you use for your judgment system. And they use the same judgment system when they're interacting with whatever. That's what you got to understand. That's the surface of it. However, this judgment system is used in every last decision they make as far as it comes to interacting with the internet. So that's why you get people on here and they say things like that or whatever. And I didn't mean to go off the wall, but I thought that was just one of the highlighted things that I liked that Trump and Mamdani were talking about, was getting in order and finding some type of, housing for these folks, man. And, hopefully in my company, I got an LLC. So my company's official. I had a woman from the state of Connecticut hook me up where I could do bidding. I could do bids for commercial if I want to. You know what I mean? I would just have to have the contractors behind me or whatever. And I think we can get it done. You know what I'm saying? So that's always been my fallback. My uncle, he built my cousin's house as well, built his own house. Military man. You know what I'm saying? I told you my whole entire family on my mother's side, all of them are military. So even more so, and Shriners, and a couple of them Lions Club. So, I'm never gonna sit up here and make fun of those people because it would be insulting even their duty because that's not what they stand for. You understand? And like I said, I grew up in that stuff. Shriners used to help out everybody. Lions Club used to help out everybody. That's why I was kind of emphasizing when I was talking to these guys when they had that thing there, the EBT crisis, and I was talking about the females. I was like, what are these guys going to do for the girls? What are they going to do for the babies? I wasn't even really worried about the girls too much. I was worried about the babies more so, And so, and ladies, let me tell you something too as women. If any of y'all got 15 to 20 guys on the phone on a regular basis, and none of those guys came to your defense or called you up and said, hey, baby, you need some groceries? You need to cut every last one of them motherfuckers off forever. I'll say it to you one more time. I curse every now and then. I smoke cigarettes online. I'm not your normal vlog. Like I said, I'm a musician. Let me tell you something. That whole EBT crisis or whatever, people are running around talking crap about Trump and talking about, I want to see the Epstein files. Y'all going to be surprised when y'all see that. Well, they're going to be like, oh, that ain't the name I was looking for. I thought so-and-so's name was going to be on there. They ain't get Trump. Damn it. Y'all better remember something. If you a motherfucking chick right now that depends on the government to eat every month, you better thank Trump. You better thank Trump. Trump was the one that signed off on the shit. Not Schumer. Not Hottie Toddy. I got the body in the bag. Not that chick. It was Trump that did it. You understand what I'm saying? So And I'm not saying that as a Trump supporter or anything. I'm just saying be real with yourself. That's all. Be real with yourself. Always be on here talking about men ain't shit and you broke and all this or whatever, bitch. You couldn't hit the grocery store until them stamps dropped. So thank Trump for that if you don't do anything else. Is that fair? But it brought up a bigger issue. It brought up a bigger issue of the guys weren't prepared to take care of the tribe. And that's what I wanted to break in order to or whatever. But this is size up Mamdani. I'm going to give him a chance. I'm going to see what he's going to do. I'm going to see if he's effective. And I'm going to give him the first 6 months. And I always think that's fair. I'm going to give him the first 6 months. You made a lot of campaign promises there, Bubby. A lot of them. And you're going to have to own up to them. All right? Now, if you don't own up to them, what you're going to do is you're going to have a tainted legacy. And I hate to say it, my friend, but people of your hue and your cue, they're not going to ever want to invite back in ever again. Please believe that. So, and I know this from being a nickel. All right? Use a nickel too. All right? So let's not make a mistake about it. Nickels with straight hair still nickels. You understand what I'm saying? Just like Spanish-speaking niggas. Yo soy aquí, tú sabes, claro que sí. Yo soy un negro. So, I'm going to give Mamdani a chance. Trump wants to give him a chance, so I say, all right, if it's good for him, I'm going to let him roll with it. I'm going to see what happens with it. I'm going to see what he comes out with. I commend him because he shows no fear. He may not show no fear, but he lost a lot. You know, I can't leave that out the conversation either because he lost a lot of support for this meeting with Trump, which is wild to me too. He lost a lot of support. A lot of people were calling for him to resign and a whole bunch of other crazy stuff based off the fact that just because he met with Trump. And I said, well, why the hell would he not meet with the president? This is the same man that bridged up by him, will allocate money to him specifically because Trump is from New York. Now, I know it's hard to believe, but for somebody that worked in the music industry for a very long time, sometimes you just got to bend the knee. Now, I ain't saying get down and bend the knee and get some Vaseline. I ain't talking about that type of knee. But every now and then, you got to be like, all right, this is what's happening. This is what's happening, you know what I mean? And there's no argument you can have about it. And I think that's what Mamdani saw himself when he met with Trump. Do I think that his base party should have went against him? No, I think it's kind of retarded, to be honest with you. But who am I to judge? I don't know those people. Yeah, they just recently had a pushback on him from his own party. You guys should go and look at it. Like I said, I wish I had my other device. I'd play it for you. But, and I might just, I'll do a part 2 to this or whatever. But I figured I had to come up this way anyway for something. So I said, yo, let me just do a quick joint before I head out real quick. You know what I mean? And let the people know. Because I know somebody asked me about Mamdani earlier, what my thoughts were about him. I said, well, let me come up here. You know what I mean? Well, I know, you know what I'm saying? I'm welcome or whatever, Boys, they out here too. Everybody out here. I'll give y'all another view from this other end right here. So you guys can see the side a little bit more clearer. We're right up here in New York. Fuzz is right there. But, so make no mistake about it, I'm keeping that real. Guys, make sure y'all hit up the Cash App, support the channel. You know what I'm saying? $5, $10, whatever you got. Make sure you hit the channel and support the channel. We appreciate it, man. These other people that sit in their bedroom all day, I try to do this type of material for you. Mamdani's party and some of his people in his party fought against him. And that goes to show you that a lot of people are not very, what's the word I want to use here? A lot of people are not very pay allegiance to the person that they endorse in the long run anymore. It seems like if you do one thing wrong that they don't like, what they want to do is, all right, we got to get him out of office. He's no good. He's terrible. There's going to be a lot of different things that happen when in office that you're not going to like. There's going to be a lot of things that are coming to compromise because parties have to compromise on things a lot of times. People that have different political views have to get in order sometimes. And that's what happened with Mamdani and what happened with Trump when they ran recently. You have to do that. If you don't do that, what's going to happen is you're going to have a party of people that somehow or another is going to collapse. Yeah, that's the way I look at it. What do you think about Letitia James staying in the position? I knew somebody was going to ask me about that too. Is this fair? Let me do a little bit more research on that because I saw, and this is like the same thing with Marjorie Taylor Greene. Marjorie Taylor Greene, I think what the problem was when she was coming up for election, I think a lot of people saw the point that she wouldn't win. And that's what's been repeated a couple of times now, that she wouldn't win. And I have to leave it at that. I don't know what the projections were as far as numbers for her and whether she could have won or lost, but I'm pretty sure. What's going on, Fred? I'm pretty sure that it remained. She lost a lot of support, I don't know why she lost the support based on her base, because they had been with her for a very long time in this past. How many times was she in office? Maybe 5 years or something like that? Maybe a little less or something like that. But in the 5 years, 6 years she's been in politics, she's always had a strong base. She came out, her and Laura, what's her name? Laura Boebert, I guess. I always knew them as a pistol packing chicks. You know what I'm saying? I think Laura Boebert's cute. I think Marjorie Taylor Greene is a pretty woman. Even you heard Trump the other day say she's a great person, but I mean that doesn't equate with your politics. And I think that's what she ran into a little finnuckle there with her politics and how she seemed like a traitor in a way, because you can't go. See, this is the thing: you either back out or you don't say nothing at all. And that's when Mamdani got. I appreciate that meeting the other day, because it was one part in there. They said, "Did you call Trump a fascist?" And he started answering it. And then Trump said, no, just say it the way it is. I admired that. I said, no, that's how you do it. That's how I always do it. That's how we do it here in the tri-state. Say it how it is, All that brown nose. Listen, I've been around multi-millionaires my whole entire adult life, damn near. And I've always had the same personality for the likes of everybody I've met, from Clive Davis on down. I met Prince before, Whitney Houston. I met all of them. They were all signed to Clive, and we was in the building with Clive because we were with Bad Boy. So they were all in the same building. They were part of Arista. And all the people that I've ever been around, or whatever the case may be, right? I've never had to alter my personality. Never have. Most of the people used to be, listen, I've gotten on planes with no ID back there and forth. I got into clubs and everybody else was paying $1,000. I got it for free. You know what I mean? And it's not hustling people. It definitely wasn't. That was just my personality. People would invite me into it. So, it goes to show that being yourself goes a lot further than trying to put on a projection of a personality that you're not. Or not even a person that you're not, the person that you think they prefer to see. You're going to find into a brick wall. So that's one thing I would tell you, if anything, about life, And so I think that was a good point right there what Trump did, where he said, no, just say it how it is. Say it how it is. It's okay. And I'm glad he did. So that goes to give some predication to at least New York City, that, hey, when this guy gets in, he's not going to brown nose. And Trump set him up for the right move. So I can agree with that. Now, as far as Marjorie Taylor Greene, this is my prediction for Marjorie Taylor Greene. I think Marjorie Taylor Greene is going to be back. Not only do I think Marjorie Taylor Greene is going to be back, I think she's going to go for a higher position than the senator. I think what she's going to do is she's going to go back, reconvene, and I think what she's going to do is she's going to come back, and she's going to come back with a different notion and a different gumption. And that gumption is still going to be in politics, but I think she's going to be more of an advocate, and I think she's going to play it from the sidelines, but I don't think she's going to walk away from politics. And I think a lot of people think she's just walked away from politics and she's done. I don't think so. You don't put that much effort in your political game and then just walk away from it like that, unless you're forced to walk away. Now, if they tell you, hey, you got to resign, that's one thing different than you resigning voluntarily. She resigned voluntarily. She'll be out of there January the 5th, I think, or January the 6th. So as far as Marjorie Taylor Greene, I think she'll be back. I'm sure, she listed out everything in her little, I don't know what you want to call that she had there, that felt like an hour-long clip. She could talk, and and that little voice she got. Well, people, I just felt like I had to get myself out of here. I'm going back to Georgia. And I'm going to reconvene, and then I'm going to come back. My country ass. But shout out to Marjorie Taylor Greene. I think Adams did get railroaded. With that whole thing with Letitia James doing that, and I think that's what you're eyeing at. she was the same one that brought the charges against Puff. Her and the bald-headed prosecutor, I forgot what his name was, who later resigned before the trial even began. And so he resigned, and I think Letitia James, she stayed or whatever the case may be. Is that what you're talking about right there? Let me know, Miss, who is that? Miss Zaza, whatever your name is there. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm just going to share this one more time. Just give me a second, guys. I'm just sharing this real quick. Write any questions you have in there because I'm going to be wrapping this up in a second. And guys, make sure y'all hit that like button and make sure y'all hit that Cash App or support the channel. I appreciate it. We need you. I felt bad for Adams. It's like he got railroaded. I think that this is simply the indictment itself. It led to precaution for him to be stayed. And what I mean was they did it at a time. You got to realize his was last year too. So they did it at a time where once he got the indictment itself and once they saw him walking into the courtroom, which I was down there to record it, once they saw him walking into the courtroom, it was like, okay, it's all over. You know what I'm saying? It's all over. There ain't nothing else you can talk about. So I think that was really the problem with him. He got stained to the public. And therefore, the public chose, like, we're not going to choose him, if that makes any sense to you. So I think that's what happened with him, in particularly, mostly. You know what I'm saying? As far as Letitia James, like I said, I want to do a little bit more deep diving. I think I'll talk about her tomorrow. Yeah, she's staying, I think. But I think after the indictment, they said, leave now or go to prison. I don't think they said that. I think he got what he needed, and he got to walk away from it, because that's what actually happened. I don't think there was any, I'll agree with you here, I don't think there was any intentions of keeping that motherfucker on. They said, oh, hell no. What are you talking about? Yeah, they ain't want my boy up in there again. I fuck with Mayor Adams. Mayor Adams is a real one. So shout out to Mayor Adams, whatever, man. Not everybody thinks you had a terrible constituency. Another one of the problems that would happen with I think one of the bigger problems that happened was this. At the time of the election just now, a lot of people say Curtis Sliwa, he messed up the election a lot by just being involved. Curtis Sliwa, and I've been around his ex, shout out to Lisa, several times now. Lisa Evans is a definitely a person we need here in the New York City tri-state, and she always get homage from me. But her husband, on the other hand, her ex-husband Curtis Sliwa, who a lot of people, we're never going to talk bad about him because he's responsible for the Guardian Angels here in New York, and who could forget about that? But his brand of politics they differed, but it was an old school solution. But it wasn't a solution that was condescending with now. And I think that's what his problem was. He was a real one, though. Shout out to him. Yeah, definitely shout out to Mayor Adams, man. Definitely shout out to Mayor Adams. We gonna miss you. You know what I'm saying? So we gonna track through this whole Mamdani thing and see how it happens. I'm hoping that the city doesn't end up terrible. I'm hoping that the city doesn't become sanctuary city infested. I'm hoping that's one of the big things I'm hoping for, because a lot of money spent on that. We don't have the money to spend on any more immigrant issues. I'm sorry it comes out like that, but we really don't. We got to get forward. We got to start taking care of people that's here in the New York City tri-state. A lot of people are coming to the country and they're crying, I need help, I need this. Well, so do the people here. So do the people here. And the people that were before you. And no other country in the world could an American go and say, I need y'all help. I need y'all to take care of me. I need y'all to put me in a hotel. And I'm going to walk around and act like I'm better than the people that are from here. So, it goes to say, I don't think we have any money with that anymore. Let me give you emphasis. Some of the hotels contractually, where they were housing the immigrants in the hotels, those contractual agreements go up to 2027, 2028. So they're still getting paid. If you don't understand, they're still going to get paid. And these companies, these hotels are owned by the Marriott and a couple other different places. Yeah, Slee was a real one. I always got to give him his homage because, without the Guardian Angels, what would New York City be, So we got definitely, I think we need more of that out here. You know what I'm saying? wrap up some of these people that are pushing people in front of subway. Like, if you don't live here in the New York City tri-state, like I live in Connecticut, but if you don't, I'm frequent in New York because I only live minutes outside of New York. I live in the southernmost part of the state. So with that being said, it's like you see these things happen with people pushing people in front of trains. That terrible incident that happened out in Queens where this woman was set on fire. You see these things on a daily basis, you know, and it's shocking because you can't believe in your mind, damn, somebody would be that demented. But that's what desperation brings, and that's what you got in New York. You got a desperation that you haven't seen here in decades. That's what it is. So I just wanted to jump up on that or whatever. Oh, and I got one thing to say, and I wanna bring this out. There's a problem, and I got to bring this up. Y'all excuse me, I'm just tired. I've been up for like 2 days in a row because I've been sick, and I really didn't want to come out, but I said I need to do this piece. There needs, Trump, I want you to listen to this if you hear this, which I'm pretty sure I don't know, maybe you will, who knows. But I want you to hear this. There's 3 things that you got to do. You understand why you still in your constituency and make these pass for the future of the military. Once upon a time in this country, right, and I'm going to do this in a separate piece too, but once upon a time in this country, you had people that was proud to serve. It's like people that were, how can I say it, enthralled to serve. People that wanted to go to the military as a source of career. And yeah, it's also the same thing with police officers. You had the same thing with firefighters, because I'm seeing their numbers are down too. I pay, y'all know me, I pay attention to demographics. I don't give a, and I want to know where the source of the demographics come from. But with that being said, it's funny because now you have the situation where you have people that are not joining the military as readily as they used to, all right? And a lot of that has to do with social change. A lot of social change that's taking place or whatever. As I mentioned to y'all, everyone, all my mom's brothers and sisters, only 2 of them wasn't in the military, and that's my mom and her older sister. They were the only 2 that didn't do the military. My great aunts and uncles did it. My grandfather did it. Like all of them. So what I think needs to happen is here, I think that Trump needs to do something. Hold on one second. I got something that I want Trump and I want the rest of Congress to look at that actually mirrors what England does, okay? And England is one of our allies and one of our sisters, so, you know, and brothers. So let's put this in position that this is something that's already going on. What you need to do is, Trump, you need to heighten the age as far as military enrollment. Now, in England, for example, they allow people to join the military up until they're 50 years old. 50 years old. Now, I don't know what, and I can't quote this, I don't know what they do as far as training. I don't know what these positions would be for a person, say over 30, 35, 40 years old, but they would still fill a role. And a lot of these men have already been trained, and the only reason they're out of the military and some want to come back is because of age. So what I would say, if you wanted to equate those numbers and bring those numbers up a little bit more, Trump, what I would suggest to you is this right here, and I think this is something that may stick out to you. Rise the military age to 50. I guarantee you, hold on one second. You raise that age to 50 years old, you're going to see something amazing happen. One, you're going to get a lot of these guys that are from the prisons and things like that, and they try to have a second chance in life, you're going to have them join. You want them to join. These are natural born fighters and warriors. Believe it or not. The second thing that you get out of it is you'll get a lot of men that may have one time or another wanted to re-enlist, but they never did because of age was a barrier for them or whatever. I think it's 35. You need to raise it up 15 years. You'll get an enrollment impact so long because these people come from those time periods when that mattered. People nowadays, they don't have that de facto image of, yo, I need to be in the military. And so that's where you're gonna fall in line with. So I would think if you wanted to increase enrollment in the military, multiple branches, I think that'd be something to do. Raise the age up to 50 years old, just like they do in England. And you'll see a quite different change because the United States military, one of the most powerful militaries there is. Most of the time, and the majority of it has always been black and white soldiers. I don't think too many people will disagree with that. I mean, history shows that from the Civil War on up. You know, we didn't have too many, got to be funny, people from other outside, maybe Asian, I'll be inclusive in that too, because they've been here a very long time. But I think that's what we need to do right now for the military. We need to increase the numbers for the military or whatever, because what you're not understanding is there's a whole bunch of countries out here that don't like the United States at all. You understand? And based on the fact that they don't like the United States, or they're in the United States and don't like the United States, is a big problem. You understand? A very big problem. So what I would explain to you is this: raise the age barrier up to 50 years old. Mimic the same thing that they do in England. They've been doing it in England for, God knows, I think, forever. I can't even give you a time frame, but it's well over 30, 40 years. It seems to work for them. I can't think of anywhere that England's went to that they've not been efficient. Let's say that. So I don't think it'll be a problem. I think job duties, inducing out the job duties in military, that might be an issue, but I don't think it'll be far from that. So one thing I would say is Trump definitely raised the age of the military to 50. You'll see the results you want. Trust me on this one. Some of those men are still good to go. You understand what I'm saying? Some of these guys are wrestlers up at the. Oh, was Stone Cold when he quit. Oh, was Hulk Hogan when he quit. You know what I mean? So it's a reality or whatever. Cap them out at 56, 57, and get them up on out of there. Send them on with a nice little paycheck. You know, that's what you do for that one. So I think I'm in total agreement with that. And I hope that pushes. The second thing I would say is, be relaxed on easing these people out of this welfare system. I'm going to tell you why. A lot of these people are going to go into shock and trauma because you're easing them out of that system that some of them have been attached to for 15, 20, 30 years. You got to realize this. And so that's all they know. So some of them that are, I don't know, let's say 50 years old, 45 years old, 60 years old or whatever, don't even waste your time. Don't even waste your time. You're not going to get somebody that old to switch their ways or whatever. Don't waste your time. Who you put your hindsight on is the young ones. You know, the chick that's on baby number 2 within 3 years. You know, put your emphasis on that. And the reason I say that is because you still have a working womb. I know that sounds disgusting the way I said that, but you still got a working womb. You got a woman that can procreate. So if you got a woman that can procreate at 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, all the way up to 45, maybe 47 years old, you got a woman that's got the potentiality to have more kids. This is how you got, that's my third baby daddy, black, white, polka dot alike. You understand me? So that's what I would say right there. Put your emphasis not on the older people and putting them to work that's on welfare. Because some of these people, they're 70 years old working at Walmart. You know? Sad, but it's the truth. You know what I mean? They put all their emphasis into working this job or that job, and this ain't paying out for them. So shout out to them. Other than that, you guys got any questions for me, anything like that? I'm about to sign off. It's getting a little chilly here. I'm going to get my boy back to CT and call it a wrap for the night. I will be with you guys tomorrow, and I'll probably be doing another live. I think I'm going to talk a little bit about Letitia James some more. Like I said, I just need to do my little bit more investigation of that, and then I can give you a little bit more, you know what I'm saying, instead of surface material or whatever. I don't like to give people surface stuff. I find it boring or whatever. That's why I don't really like to do it, whatever. Guys, make sure y'all hit up the Cash App, $STRINGERBELL80. Make sure y'all support that or whatever. And then my closing words about Mamdani and Trump meeting. I'll just say this, man. Let's see what he does. I'll give him that. Let's see what he does. It sounds good. Let's find out if it is good. Guys, make sure y'all hit up that Cash App. Make sure y'all hit the like button. I am up out of here. Thanks to the people here at Trump Tower for tolerating me like they always do. I appreciate it. You understand? Y'all want to see the Christmas decorations up here? I'll show y'all that before I sign off because they're kind of dope. I just saw them. This is some of the stuff they got up here at Trump Tower. This is the Nutcracker, as you can see here. I'll go a little see. I can see a little bit better. That's a Nutcracker. As you guys can see. Then take you to this one right here. So you see this one. I don't know how well you guys can see that or whatever, but he starts laughing emojis. All right, guys. I'm gonna get up on out of here because it's getting cold out here, and I'm gonna get my butt home. But I wanted to bring that to y'all real quick or whatever. I appreciate y'all tuning in or whatever. Like I said, I just gave a surface of it. I honestly and truthfully think that, man, just to be honest with you, We got a whole big world to look forward to in 2026, and it's right around the corner. So I would tell a lot of y'all, change your ways, change the way you're blogging, start paying attention to some of these political things that are going on because they do matter. That's why, I don't. If y'all notice, I don't talk about gossip with stars every day. I don't talk about the music industry every day because there's only so much you can talk about that. And there's so many people talking about it. You know what I mean? So let's just keep in order. When we having these conversations and things like that, let's make sure we have the conversations about something that's of importance. You know what I mean? Give me a second, y'all. I'm gonna tell this guy real quick, and then I'm gonna give y'all some more words real quick before I leave. Thanks. Thank you. I see you. All right, guys, I'm back. I always tell them, I always thank you or whatever, before I leave up out of here. You guys always make sure I'm tight. You know what I mean? I'm like one of the few people, because people live up in there. So I'm one of the few people that can come up. That's some real shit, too. Y'all want to see the Gucci joint? You want to see the Gucci? Oh, they got the boxes to pop open now. I ain't even noticed that. That's the Gucci store, the real Gucci. Yeah, I let y'all see that for the ladies. That's for the ladies. You know what I mean? Got all the Gucci up in there. Y'all want to see a little bit better? Or the Gucci, that's the real Gucci store. You know what I'm saying? Ain't the fake Gucci store, that's the real Gucci store. Don't come with that Poochie. I love how they got these boxes that open like that, though. I think that's cool. I always do a little side stuff like this, so people be like, yo, what are you doing? I always do stuff like this. All right, guys, make sure y'all hit up the Cash App. I'm going to get up out of here. I got things to do, and I'm getting to the house because it is getting chilly out here. I appreciate all y'all tuning in with me. Appreciate all y'all rocking with me and everything like that. Make sure somebody sent $10, man. I want to make sure I want to leave from here. I don't even want to go. Yeah, I'm going to leave from here. Somebody send me $10 at least. You know what I'm saying? Make it worthwhile. Give me a coffee and get on the train. I thought I could bear it. Y'all want to stay with me a few more minutes? I'll do that with y'all. I thought I could bear it, but it's kind of chilly out here, son. Like, for real, for real. It is really kind of chilly out here. And I don't know. I know I got to get me a new jacket, too, this week. Sometime. That's for damn sure. This right here, let me show y'all this right here. Yeah, I can show y'all some of the Christmas decorations and stuff, right? This Dolce & Gabbana. Yeah. Dolce & Gabbana store. That's how they got their stuff linked up. This is what, this will put it in perspective. This is what Puff and all them niggas used to shop at. So we know all these. They updated the tree this year. They definitely got a different tree in here this year, because last year was a red ribbon. They had like little mannequins and stuff in here. Take y'all around, let y'all see the Christmas decorations. I can do that. This is Omega's another one of the places, timepieces and all that. These joints right here, all these joints is like 30,000, 40,000. You know what I mean? We'll be up in here though, trust me. We just gotta get this new album out, that's all. So that's why I like showing y'all this stuff. You know what I mean? Once we get this new album out, it's a wrap. Trust me on that. It's a wrap. Let y'all see all this stuff out here though. See, that's one we'll be up in a minute right there. I need to do that again. Like, if you see my old pictures, you'll see me with the top hat, all that. Like, trust me, I'm talking about, this is just like 3-4 years ago. Definitely diversify your bonds, player. I like how you talk on that one. I'm gonna give you that one. I'm gonna give you that one. I said diversify your pelts. You know what? I might as well go this way. Matter of fact, hold on. Yeah, I'll go down this way, let y'all see this too. This right here, I don't know if y'all know about Harry Winston. You know what I'm saying? Only the real niggas know about Harry Winston. You know what I'm saying? Where New York at? You know about Harry Winston? It used to be across the street, and they moved them over here. I've been up in here before. Not this one, but the one across the street when it was there. It ain't there no more. Yep, the archway doors, they always had that. Wu-Tang Financial. Like that one. He said Wu-Tang Financial. That's what's up. What's going on, man? What borough are you in? Where you at? You in the tri-state or you somewhere else? Talk to me. I said, I'll let everybody see the Christmas decorations and everything while I'm on my way home, man. It's cold out here. What's going on? Y'all talk to me in the chat, man. That was funny, though. I got to give you that one. I don't usually like people do comedy in my chat room, but that was funny. The best about your bars, player. That was funny. I'll give them that one. Usually, I don't like joking with people, but I'm just not a jokey type person. Like, unless you my chick or some shit like that. Like, but if you just somebody that's giggle, I ain't a giggling type of motherfucker. You know what I mean? So y'all pardon me. It's a Coach store. You guys can see that or whatever. I don't do that. Like, usually, like, you don't tell the truth. I come down, do what I got to do with it, then I take my butt back home to Connecticut. That's with my regular routine. I need to slow down, right? Let you guys see this. I'll use a lot of this for B-roll anyway. Got the gingerbread man. The muffin man! The muffin man! Remember that on Shrek? The muffin man! The muffin man! Let you guys see all this. Like I said, this is Coach right here. Oh, yeah, that's dope right there. They got like a Tyrannosaurus Rex or something up in there. Let me see what this is. See if I can get that. I might be able to get it. Let me see if I can zoom in on it. Let y'all see it. Yeah, there we go. Y'all see that? It's a dinosaur made of person. That's dope. You guys see that? All right, I'm gonna walk y'all down this way, let y'all see some more of this stuff or whatever if I get up out of here, all right? It's kind of cool out here right now. You guys wouldn't believe how cold it is out here. It got cold just like a little while ago. And here's the front so you guys can see a little bit more of the clear in the front. And I'm zoom in for you guys. There we go. You guys can see the Christmas tree and all that stuff and see it from a different angle. Like I said, I'm gonna use all this stuff for B-roll anyway, so it doesn't matter. Take you out for a walk through New York real quick. This is DGI. I know a lot of you guys know them for the gimbals and all that. All the drones and stuff. That's their store right there. Keep walking down here. It is chilly as hell out here, guys. Like I said, just as I was talking to y'all, I took the camera off of them. But like I said, this so y'all can see how much of a homeless problem they have down here. This is the actual Microsoft store right here. If y'all ain't never seen that before, check that up there. This is the Microsoft store. All the stuff from Microsoft up in there and all that stuff. Then I'm gonna walk out down here and then I gotta out. I'm sorry y'all don't be doing stuff like this all the time, but my channel don't get supported. Like, y'all do not know what I be going through. Y'all just do not know. I wouldn't even call it hate at this point. I call it mental illness. You know what I'm saying? I be having people on my page every day doing some crazy shit. That's why I be like, I'm gonna take y'all down here real quick, let y'all see something else. We just moving and shaking through New York right now. I'm about to go in the house because I got bills to pay, so I can't even afford to be out. Ain't that crazy? And I don't get supported, so this one on me. This one on me, all right? And then, that's a Nike store over there. I'm gonna take y'all over there in a second. What is this right here? Oh yeah, this is Ferragamo. See, I need that right there. I need that whole joint right there. You know what I mean? I said, hold on, let me zoom this out. This is Ferragamo. If y'all know Ferragamo, y'all know the clothes. It's just as crazy. Homie, stop staring at me like that. I don't know you. Yeah, so that's a Nike store right there. Walk out down here. This is Cartier. So I see that right there. Cartier spot right here with water. Let's see if I get how close I can get into it. It's a beautiful store. And this is Skims. I'm thinking this is Kim Kardashian. This is Kim Kardashian's little joint right here. The Skims. It's Kim Kardashian's thing for Skims right here. Hold on. Walk out more down here. Like I said, that's the Nike store right there. If y'all see it, just do it. It's actually the Nike store right there. Y'all know about these. I can't explain this to you. You know what I'm saying? Only niggas getting money gonna know what that store is. You know what I mean? What's going on, man? What you said? This is great. Loving the street footage. Y'all love the street footage. Hit up the Cash App, man. What's the problem? Y'all be telling me y'all love me. Show it. I'll play it. But I would appreciate it if y'all do. This is dope. Look at this, y'all. This is something you could purchase right here. That'd be L, right? For the crib, that'd be L. That's like some Pharrell types. Look, you got the Richie Rich joint. And this right here, guys, this is like one of the biggest churches. And I know you guys have probably seen it right down here. So I'm just being y'all tour guide for tonight, right? This is Radio City Music Hall. I ain't going down there right now, though, because I'm headed the opposite direction. But this is one of the largest churches in New York and one of the oldest ones. I can't get the whole scale of how big this is, but I'll just point it up and to give y'all some example, as y'all can see. This is like one of the largest, I don't know how good I can get it, but this place is huge. And many of y'all see this during Easter and all that stuff or whatever. You'll a lot of times see this on, I think NBC covers it a lot or whatever, but they got these huge doors. Like, well, let me zoom in on it. So these doors right here, as y'all see that, these doors right here, they actually open. So there's actually two other ones over there. If y'all ever seen those big pillar doors that you see open or whatever, this is it. So a lot of weddings happen here, things like that. But I know you guys have probably seen this church a million times on the news and didn't know where it was. But this is it. And like I said, this is one of the oldest churches in New York City. See, when you're around, when you've been in this area your whole life, you know shit like that. I literally cannot get the whole scale of this church in here, guys. That's how big it is. Need some of that Kanye money to buy some of that stuff. Might do, man. I need to talk to Ye, man. I need to talk to Ye and Nas, to be honest with you. I don't know, maybe can make something happen. Who knows, right? Who do I know, right? I always have fun with conversations like that. I mean, who do I know? You know what I mean? Might have to talk to Kanye. You know what I'm saying? That sounds like a good idea. You know what I mean? Yeah, I definitely need something. Go ahead. Definitely need some of that Kanye bread, though. You know what I mean? Kanye doing good with the Yeezy store right now, so make sure y'all go check out the Yeezy store. Get y'all some. What up? Go to the Yeezy store, get y'all something at the Yeezy store. Tell Kanye I sent you over there. How about that? Oh, look at the disco brand on it. It's crazy, right? I like the looks. The looks are definitely hot. We keep walking down here, guys. Show you the rest of these. Oh, they got a whole window treatment here. This is actually pretty dope. Let y'all see this. Here's some Bloomingdale's, ain't it? Yeah, this is Saks. 1 second. Look at the window treatments, guys. Dope. Yeah, one of them Jaspers at the door. You ain't gonna come up in here now. I love them Jasper type black dudes. Black dude, you ain't gonna come up in here now with all that mess now. This is Saks. Did you come up here all that, Russ? You look like you still talk like that. Guys, I'm gonna put on. I'm gonna do y'all one real quick. All right? Y'all want to see the ice skating rink? Who loves you? Hold on one second. See if I get around there. I think I gotta go around. They probably having a performance here tomorrow. Yeah, see, I can see Saks a little bit better. See me almost get hit by the bus. Told you. If you ain't used to this, nigga, don't come up here. You gotta know how to move. This is Michael Kors right here. Let me take y'all over here, let y'all see this real quick, because this is the Ellis right here. I always like watching this. Matter of fact, I gotta do this so I can give me a little still of this real quick. So y'all give me a second. Tell me this ain't the Ellis thing y'all ever seen before y'all like it. I love this right here. This is meant for me. Let's see if I go back a little bit further. There we go. I'm gonna turn this around so y'all can see it. Guys, I'm gonna zoom in on it. Just thought y'all might want to see that. That's dope, right? All right, y'all, I'm gonna walk y'all over here, show y'all the Puma store, and then after that I'm out. It's chilly out this motherfucker, for real. Y'all make sure y'all send money for coffee, man. Gotta be out here. See New York City traffic right here. All right, across the street here. I'm definitely heading to the crib. It's chilly as fuck out here. Y'all can see. It's the Puma store right here. You know what I mean? Let y'all see that real quick. Puma ain't got no Christmas decorations up in their joint though. They never do. I think Puma only store out here they don't really do Christmas. Like all these stores, they don't really do the Christmas thing and all that or whatever like that. Yeah, alright, nigga. Hold on one second. Y'all can see or whatever. I'm gonna take y'all down here. Yeah, nigga, whatever. You always be having these brown niggas be trying to act like they black people. Like, nigga, I don't fuck with you like that. I don't like niggas like that. See somebody, they always want to talk and shit. Nigga, I don't talk to you. My niggas be thinking niggas want to talk to them for. Yeah, I don't talk to you, nigga. I just been finding that lately. Like, I be having random motherfuckers come up to me and start talking. That nigga just started talking. I'm like, nigga, I don't talk to you. For fuck. I don't talk to niggas. Y'all already know H&M. Y'all know the vibes with that, so I ain't even gonna show y'all that. You got me on the coffee, yo. Y'all got me on the coffee? You go to cash up down at the bottom. Y'all hit me with a coffee, man. I'm about to head to the crib. Hey. Our H&M is probably a little bit bigger than the average one. I'll let y'all see it like that. There ain't no Christmas decorations and shit there, so that's probably pretty much all the Christmas decorations y'all gonna get on this block. After I get back past there, there's not many more. Oh yeah, I forgot about this spot. This is the spot y'all see on YouTube or whatever. Yeah, Puma came back from the dead. This is the spot y'all see right here though. Online, I know y'all done seen this, right? If y'all ain't seen this, go online. This is spot up in here if you want to go get lit. They got a concierge right here and everything. But they sell bud out of there, just let y'all know. That's the bud store. So if you come to New York, hey, that's what you're looking for. I just showed you where to go. Oh shit. Yeah, Puma and Adidas. See, like Adidas, let me put it this way: Adidas and Nike, and these are my joints too. Hoka. I like these two, but these shits is dumb expensive. But the guy that made like, I don't know if y'all know this or not, but the dude, this is Lacoste right here. This is Lacoste. If y'all don't know Lacoste, you know what I mean? The dude that I guess created Adidas and the one that created Puma, they were actually brothers. And one of the brothers actually joined the Nazi party. Oh, they ain't got the lights on in there. One of the brothers actually joined the Nazi party, and that's where they separated it. So one of the brothers, he went on to create what you now know as Adidas, and the other brother went on to create Puma. So they're actually siblings, believe it or not. And it went so far, the other one didn't even come to the other one's funeral when he died. It was that deep. You know what I'm saying? His resentment for his brother because of his involvement with the Nazi party. And I think this is a Adidas store right here. Yep, it is too. And speaking of the devil, it's an Adidas store too to go along with that conversation. So, you know what I mean? It is what it is, bro. So as y'all can see it a little bit. Just walking through it, walking through the town, man. That's it, man. Just walking through the town. Everybody don't live here, so you know, I like to take them on my ride, because you know my ride is different, man. You know, we breathe this, we eat this. Go ahead, we breathe this and eat this daily. So I like to give people a tour the way I like to give them a tour. I don't like people that come up here and they ain't from this area and like, oh my God, we're over here at 42nd Street. So the fuck what? Don't nobody care. For real. Don't nobody care. You know what I'm saying? God. Yeah, that's the end of, you see ain't no more Christmas decorations, right? I told y'all. I know what I'm talking about. Let me turn this back around. I know what I'm talking about with a cut of that, Sean. For real. They killed that in a minute. Yeah, I gotta get my gear back up, Sean. See, I need this whole fit right here. Feel me? We gonna get it though. We gonna get it. I keep my mind on that every day. Every day I wake up, I'm like, yo, son, I'm gonna be a multi-millionaire. Trust me. It'd be real nice if I was a multi-millionaire around the time Puff was coming home. Like, all right, nigga, let's get back in. You know what I'm saying? For real. But it is what it is. That's why a lot of niggas don't donate to me either. That nigga fuck with Puff. Don't donate to him. It be all kinds of silly shit. I'd be like, y'all niggas is crazy, man. You know what I mean? Shit crazy. What's going on, y'all? Talk to me. Puma, I read that one. What's the other one? This is great. Both street footage. Appreciate it. You're welcome, man. You know what I mean? B. Beggett. Zed Vaughn. Y'all hear that shit behind me? You hear that bitch talking to herself behind me? Right there, see it? That one right there talking to herself. That's why you always got a bug, and I'm like, nah, you gotta watch it, because as I'm telling y'all, it's a whole bunch of people out here, like mental illness and shit, you know what I mean? So it is what it is, bro. Nico, what's going on? Make sure you hit that like button, y'all. Make sure y'all hit that Cash App. Support your boy on the $STRINGERBELL80. I ain't motherfucker, stop staring at me. I don't know what niggas adapted this staring shit from, but my first interaction with that shit is like, yo, nigga, I would do something to you. Hey, stop staring at me like that. I don't know you. I won't go to that. But, oh, y'all want to see something? I'll show y'all something. I'm going to show y'all the Migrant Hotel, where I used to be at. Yeah, it's right here. Let me show y'all something. Is it right here? I thought it was down this block. No, that's the shit they closed. Yeah, I went down the wrong block. Shit. It's actually the next block. But I was gonna show y'all where the Migrant Hotel was. That they had everybody over there. So. Oh shit, nah, I can't go down this way. It is the next block. I go down that way, I'm gonna run into this other shit. I don't wanna go down that way. You run into that shit, feel like you on the highway and shit. I'm like, I went that way one time, I was like, yo, son, that, like, it be some streets, I ain't gonna hold you. I ain't never been down before in New York. For real. And I know this one feel like the back of my hand. Like, trust me. You won't get away from me. I know every fucking shortcut. Oh, I know this shit my whole entire life, dude. Boy, it is chilly out here, guys, too. It is so cold. It's not cold, it's chilly. I got my trusty hoodie on. That's why y'all be seeing I got this hoodie on. This hoodie got shit inside of like fur. All good. Love and respect for Scotland. What's going on, Scotland? I fuck with y'all. Yeah, it's just chilly out here, bro. Yeah, that's all I'm like. Time to head home. Time to head home. You know what I mean? Definitely. Time to head home. This wind, it's not cold, it's just blowing to a certain degree, or it's just kind of like annoying as anything. Yeah, I could hit the next block. Oh yeah, here's one for y'all. Here's the North Face store right here. Let me show y'all this one. Damn, you fine as hell. This girl, shit, this one has. I'm talking to y'all. Shorty was fine as fuck. I just when she smiled at me though. Yeah, it's not even freezing, it's just chilly. This is the North Face store right here. Can get your North Face jacket right and all that. I thought it was this way. It must be the next block. I want to take y'all past that immigrant hotel. Migrant hotel, how you want to say it. This is the real joint. You see this shit got 3 floors to it. So you want to get your North Face right, you come here. You understand? You want to get your North Face right, you come here. That's all. That's all. Real light, you know what I mean? I got to have these right here too. Now I see what they look like in person. Them shits ain't that thick though. I don't know. You see these joints right here? I've been wanting these. I've been looking at them. Cause see, I got some joints on that's similar to those. This is the Nike joints though. These shits, they look like some summertime shit, but they're not. These shits are thick as fuck and they comfortable. Like that's why y'all always see me wearing it, because these things are so comfortable. Like, think about the Yeezys. If you ever had the Yeezys, you know how the Yeezys was comfortable like that? That's how these joints are. They got this big gel insole and it's stupid thick. Pause. You know what I mean? But, yeah. That's what I said. I like to walk niggas around New York like I like to walk around New York. Like I said, this is the North Face store right here. Come on, get yourself right for the winter. All that. Show y'all the front of the store. We got all the stores, nigga. This is New York. We got all the stores. You know what I'm saying? We got all the stores. Yo, let me tell y'all some funny shit real quick. This nigga Denot, man. Shout out to Denot. I was just talking about Denot yesterday. Didn't even know it. Listen, let me tell y'all some funny shit. So, Denot to become the king of clips. Let me tell you what I mean. So Milagros, whatever her name is, that Megan Thee Stallion is suing. I know I meant to talk about this. He was in a clip or whatever, with a Milagro chick or whatever. She came out the court. He said, "I would never call you fat." I said, "Yes, you would, nigga." Oh, that shit was hilarious. I saw the first clip on TMZ, which was funny enough, but they had another one they had picked up right there. I was like, yo, this dude is wild. Because he had some shit with Cardi, and it was the same thing. They clipped that shit up, and it was just that 1 second that highlighted it. So, yo, shout out to Denot. Denot be getting that footage, dog. And be getting them clip moments. So shout out to Denot, man. Do your thing, man. You know what I'm saying? I ended up running into him and meeting him for the first time down at the Diddy trial. That was just real cool, man. Like, dude had good vibes with him, so I ain't got nothing bad to say about it. I'll put it that way. You know what I'm saying? And I met him briefly. It was like First time I met him was under 2.5 minutes. Second time I seen him, it was under like 3 minutes. You know what I mean? I ain't never spoke to him since, but shout out to you, man. Keep doing your motherfucking thing, man. I ain't mad at you. My voice of mine here, DMX, I get that all the time. You know what I'm gonna do? Somebody suggested so I do something. And at first I wasn't gonna do it, but I'm like, yo, you know what? Fuck it, I'm gonna do it. So I'm gonna do something in the town of DMX for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gonna see what I'm talking about in a minute. Yeah, I think y'all gonna like it. You know what I mean? But yeah, I get that all the time. It ain't nothing. It's just some Bronx shit and like Harlem shit and Brooklyn shit, all kinds of shit mixed in. Connecticut shit. That's why my voice sound. I don't know. But I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Y'all guys make sure y'all hit the Cash App $STRINGERBELL80. I took y'all everywhere tonight, man. I can't do it no more. Make sure y'all hit the like button, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. It's chilly out this motherfucker right now. I'm headed to the crib. Y'all ain't got me on the coffee, nothing? Alright. Y'all don't fuck with me for real. Alright, y'all. I gotta shut it down. I'm getting ready to slide. I'm gonna go home, give me something to eat, get re-energized, and I will talk to y'all probably tomorrow sometime or another. I don't know when, but it's sometime tomorrow. I'll talk to y'all. So I appreciate y'all tuning in. I ain't gonna dish y'all or nothing. Oh, yeah, I ain't donating, so I ain't gonna dish. I ain't dishing nobody. It's good. Because that ain't gonna make y'all, like, honestly, truthfully, that ain't gonna make y'all donate. If y'all ain't gonna donate, y'all ain't gonna donate, period. So it is what it is. Like, I've become accustomed to, if you're not gossiping, oh, this nigga wilding with this music. If you're not gossiping or some shit like that, then basically the fact is you're not getting donated to. So, it's a hard trust. Don't stare at me like that, motherfucker. It's a hard price to pay, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, these niggas be acting up. Like, nigga, don't be staring at me in my face like I'm supposed to be scared of you, nigga. Anyway, I can't stand when niggas do shit like that. Like, don't stare in my face, bro. I ain't scared of you. Like, I think more so it's just that crowd that goes into the tea factories or whatever you want to call that shit or whatever. It's just that's what people are accustomed to. So it's nothing you can really do to change that. So it's just like, oh well. You know what I'm saying? I just don't fit in with that crowd. It's all good. You know what I mean? What you want me to do? What you want me to do? You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. All right, y'all. I'm out of here. I will talk to y'all. Y'all have a good night. Peace.